Well, guys, the KTM Acme Moto has broken down for the first time ever. That's right, guys. Acme Moto will not start. Oh, there's a wild horse right there. Right on the... Luckily, I was way up in the mountain, and I was pretty afraid of what might happen here. I got 2 hours of daylight, and I was way up on that hill, and I never filmed, but I was on the side of the road. I looked over all the wiring. What happened is I fell right into a rock. You can see it just smashed right here, and it actually bent in the rad guard, like right in there. Boom. You can see how it's kind of squished in here, but I don't see any wires that are wrecked back there, and it's not getting any fuel pump. So I'm going to pull the seat off, and I called my buddy Travis with his YZ 250X. He's going to drive his truck down the KVR and come pick me up and take me to my vehicle. So, but I was really glad, you know, there's barbed wire right there. I just got over it. There's always a barbed wire line, so I got really lucky where, because I'm coming down the mountain, and I'm trying to strategize so I don't come to a cliff face and have to push it back up. It worked out so well. It's amazing. Yeah. Like, of all that, you can see I came right down here. How the hell did I don't even know where I went across this. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. That's weird. How did I not see that? I literally, like, I didn't see it when I was coming through. I went right over it. Because I jumped for this little gap right here. You know what, maybe I just brought it up. Maybe it was like down before. Like, you know, maybe flat. I don't know. How did I even get over that? It's a miracle. Because it could have cut the wheel, and you know, I thought I heard something too. It's so weird. But yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to need a tool to cut the barbed wire. But yeah, let's pull the seat off and see if the fuel pump is still plugged in or whatever. You know, I was seeing the FI light flashing back there. There it goes, solid. There it is. And 1 flash, 2 flash, 3, 4, 5. Isn't too fast. I'm sure it's fuel pump, but hopefully it's just a connection, not Gonskis. Thanks, guys. Dirtbike Survivor, man. I got the tools. You just got it, but you need the diagnosis. You need to be able to diagnose. Update. So there's the fuel pump plug, and the fuel pump's in the bottom of the tank. Listen. It goes. Something, probably, maybe just something electrical is not letting it work. I don't know. Oh, diagnosis 101. Battery's good. Not the electrical whiz. All I did was fall over. It's so weird just to fall over and pick it up and then nothing. Well, you know, here's the advantage, I guess, of the carburetor, the Electron or the Smart Carb. But otherwise, the TPI has been gold. They're 279.1 hours. It finally let me down on the trail. Wow. And I'm so lucky I was not somewhere further away on flat land. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Here comes Travis with the Ford. There he is. There he is. Holy smokes. Of course, I lost something on the ground. Hey, you made it. That was quick.
Yeah, no doubt.
Thanks a lot for the rescue.
Good to see you.
This is like the first time the bike's broke. Update. This is a continuation of being stuck on the trail for the first time with the Acme Moto. The bike, I crashed into a rock with my left radiator guard, and with the radiator guard, just the slightest dent. You know, I had the Emperor Racing guards on the bike, right? So the radiator survived, no problem. I literally fell right into a rock. And then I picked up the bike and it did not start. So I've been going over everything. I checked for fuel. The fuel pump is running. It is pushing fuel. I checked for spark. There is no spark. No spark. And so I put a new spark plug, put it back together, and washed everything. I checked, the battery. I disconnected ECU, blah, 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 blah. Looked up for up here. And then I'm like, why am I not getting spark? What's going on with the ignition? And then I'm kind of going back, I'm like, you know, got to focus on what happened. I fell over into a rock, pushed the radiator guard slightly back, and bike no start. I mean, it just can't be like something given up. It can't just be like the fuel pump given up, or it can't just be like something gives up. Something needed to get smashed or what? And I'm like, you know, I looked at all the wires on the trail, couldn't find anything. Now I removed the guards, and then again, checked all the wires and looking up here and the plugs around the ignition. And then I go back, you know what? Back to the wires that I looked around the back of the radiator guard. And there's two of them. You know, one is probably a crank sensor, and the other one, I don't know, measures something down there. And they, you know, they're zip tied right here. They're zip tied to the frame right there. And so there's a zip tie, you know, it tightens on the wire right here, you know, and you know, you could be like, oh, maybe the wires are squished in there. But then I go and I see this one is where it was zip tied. You can see zip tied, but then right here, look at this. It's pinched through in the corner there. And it's a good sign, and that's from the radiator guard. There's a back brace of the radiator guard, and when the radiator guard got pushed back, it might have pushed and squished that thing, and that would be exactly the issue. So here's the radiator guard, and right here, so this goes on. This goes on the bike like that, right? And then this back guard, it goes between the frame and such, right? So as the thing was bent back, as it, oh, let's get a balance. As this whole piece was, you know, you can see it. Oh, look, let's see. You see how it's bent right here back. And then, so the wire could have been pinched by this side. The wire is going against this between the frame goes through here. And maybe the wire was pinched on this side or this side, because the way I installed it, obviously I didn't route the wires that they couldn't get squished in case of the radiator guard bending back. So the thing, it went up through here, right, and up to the top, and so that guard goes along there. So that guard is at that height, and the zip tie height is right there, and that's at the guard. Yeah. Somehow I put it on the wrong side of the radiator brace, and as the radiator it was already just got squished. So I'm gonna take this sheath off. I've been cleaning everything. Take the sheath off and see what the wires are. So I'll update you guys. So it was just really, I couldn't access the wire on the oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, that's it. You guys can't really see it, but the wire is messed in there. Bam, there you have it. The red wire from the crank sensor. The crank sensor, guys. This whole time, it gives me codes because it'll flash on the FI light, and it flashes 4 times slow and long, like flash, 4 times, and then 2 quick ones. And that actually shows too much or too little electricity to the oil pump. The oil pump, totally freaking unrelated, but for some reason that's what it's showing on as fault, because obviously it's not used to faults that way. So I got my soldering gun. I gotta hope I can get this working for me. Let's hit it. Okay, so I got the 2 wires twisted, and I'm just gonna do the soldering, so stay tuned. There you go, check it out. What do you think of my work? I think it went pretty well. Went pretty good. Yeah, I did back and front, double do it. It's nice, looking good. Now do it up. Yeah. Okay, well, I realized I made a mistake because I had, you know, these tubes. Where the hell are they? I don't know. But you know, like the shrink wrap tubes, I should have made 2 of them, and then I could have used it. Instead I had to use electrical tape, and then you can melt electrical tape using a dryer. But either way, it actually worked pretty well. And then I'm gonna shrink wrap it around it, and then I'm gonna have to like put a, you know, tape all around it to create the full seal. But I should have thought about that. Could have separated them both with the shrink wrap. You know, I've never tried this before. Let's see what happens. Oh, I gotta do off. Okay, the moment is upon us. I got the wires all done. Nice, you can see it's all nicely heat shrunk, heat wrapped, whatever. Heat shrunk wrapped. Okay, let's just pull on the open air screw, and it's the fuel pump's hooked up. Let's see if it starts. I feel like I got everything. Am I forgetting anything? Should start. Yeah! 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 It works! I got it going! And let's see what the F1 light, because I had the F1 light, the FI light telling me it was, you know, a fuel oil pump, which was a signal was screwed up. No light, no light. FI light. 279.2 hours. 279.2 hours, guys. Okay, I got her going. I'll get her put together tomorrow. Have a good one, guys. Peace. Okay, live from the trail. Obviously live filming anyways. And here's the Acme Moto. So this is the spot, guys. I'll show you where I actually broke the wire. I was gripping in this rock. I fell. And the radiator guard went straight into that rock. Sharp edge. I bent the radiator guard right back and squished the cable. And you can see how the front tire washed out right there. And obviously I'm backwards right now. But yeah. And I pounded the radiator guard out. But it got, you know, it broke the, look, I JB welded it in the meantime before I get a new fender. And the cable that was back there was the crankcase sensors. This top one right here, the green and the red. Oops. The green and the red, it would cut the red in half because the wires were going up there, and then there's this rear brace that is up there. You can see it right there. The wires were obviously against that and it got pushed back. So there's quite a good gap there now. Like a centimeter almost. So that's what happened. Okay. Let's turn around and head back to, and then I went cross country down. And I didn't know if I'm going to come to a cliff or not, or where I'm going to go. I decided, like, looking in the map, I'm like, okay, it doesn't look too steep, but the map's elevation drops are always wrong. You might also, it looks like, oh, it's just a plateaus, but then it's just cliff. So, well, I'm going to see my other options. What would have happened if I kept going this way, kept pushing down the trail, took a different route. I'm going to explore. On the ass. Woohoo! Yeah, I cut that out with the chainsaw, made it all prepped. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Right from the skid plate. Look at that, guys. It's ridiculous. 2.5 feet. I'll have to get a tape measure. Bam. Woo! Good job, didn't crash. All right, day's over. First dirt bike ride since Constable Conrad Herbs issued me a lawsuit in small claims and served it to me in traffic court as personal lawsuit in official police capacity. Serves it to intimidate and threaten me right in traffic court, the beginning of traffic court. Again, he did this the first time with this cease and desist threatening letter before the last traffic court. Insane. And his investigational skills are fantastic because he took all the 5 minutes to research on the small claims website, BC provincial courts, that small claims provincial courts don't deal with slander and libel lawsuits. So you know, 3 tickets for $327 and he spends $236 and loses it. Who's paying the tickets now?